Oh, right. Yeah, we can carry on with this doc. I'm going to break it up into two parts because, anyway, let's go.
Now we don't care.
Yeah, if you couldn't really decipher that, there were chants of lock her up from the audience. And he said, now we don't care. That was before the election.
I mean, I will say as well with that thing is like, how bad would have that made Trump look? That would have give everybody, see, we knew he was a fascist Nazi if he literally got into power and went after his political opponent. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't look good, especially when they're saying you're the new Hitler.
Not. The Clintons were at Trump's third wedding, and Ivanka and Chelsea are BFFs. Trump promised to build the wall, but precious little got built. I hope you realize that the only border wall that Trump is going to complete is a digital biometric wall, and that you'll be banging your head against this wall constantly.
We will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed.
Couldn't they have thought of a more piffier title? Biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems. Who the hell's going to remember that? What does that even mean? Biometric entry-exit visa tracking.
Politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. Hillary Clinton, all talk. Unfortunately, when there is action, it's always the wrong decision. Do you ever notice? In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
He also promised to bring them home, but no troops were brought home from the Middle East. The one main promise that Trump has delivered on is Operation Warp Speed. This is ironic because Trump has praised the experimental gene therapy injections at the center of this military operation to this day, long after they have been proven to be ineffective and disliked by his voter base.
We got a vaccine done in less than 9 months. It was supposed to take from 5 to 12 years. Because of that vaccine, millions and millions of people, I think this would have been the Spanish flu of 1917, where up to 100 million people died. This was going to ravage the country far beyond what it is right now. Take credit for it. Take credit for it. It's a great, what we've done is historic. Don't let them take it away. Don't take it away from ourselves. You're playing right into their hands.
Both the president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so...
Don't. That's it's a very tiny group.
Trump's broken promises reveal much about his character. Besides the pressure to satisfy our immediate needs of food, water, shelter, and clothing, there are 3 temptations that are common to any man: money, power, sex, and ego. Donald Trump fails in all 4 of these categories, especially with women. The fact that he is on his 3rd marriage says a lot, and his 3rd marriage is troublesome. Notorious pedophile, financier, and government double agent Jeff Epstein bragged about how he set up struggling model Melania with Trump at the Kit Kat Club owned by Ghislaine Maxwell. Trump's relationship with Epstein was so close that Epstein had a lot to say about Trump.
He is charming. He is able to convince people. So he tells everybody what they want to hear.
So how do you know this?
That was supposed to show you.
He has a sense of humor. He can be funny.
He's great. His ability to sell. It's very much like Clinton. Both Bill and Donald have the ability to go over to a fat, ugly woman So you are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So you probably know he had a scalp reduction. Because he had the same male pattern model that we all have. But he's a horrible human being. He does nasty things to his best friends' wives. Anyone who first tries to gain your trust and then uses it to do bad things. That's how it goes.
I mean, you are taking the word of a convicted paedophile, but also Trump is. I see he's pushing Republicans to vote to release the Epstein files. That's interesting. That is interesting.
Address the subject of Zionism at this point. Zionism is Jewish supremacism. Not all Jews are Zionists, and not all Zionists are Jews. Zionism is both political and religious.
I thought Zionism is basically Jews going back to the Israel. That's what Christian Zionism is, the Christians who think that, well, not think, it does say the land of Israel, and it does reference Israel in all of the aspects. They are both a religious group, an ethnicity. They're like, yeah. But yeah, Zionism isn't Jewish supremacy. Because actually, well, I don't disrespect Jews, but they're not supreme. Christians are. It's like they say that Judaism is what Western civilization is built of. Arguably, yeah, but also arguably no, because it's not the Jewish values that built Western civilization. It's the Christian, which is obviously the follow-on, but it is different. Because if it wasn't, then there wouldn't be such things as Jews and Christians. If they was the same thing, they're not the same thing. But yeah, Zionism is Jewish supremacy. I disagree. I disagree with all of them things because it's just essentially, do you think Israel has a right to that land? And do you think that they should be there? Yeah.
Zionism feeds off Jews in the same way that the Nazi movement fed off Germans. Zionism hides behind the accusation of anti-Semitism if you dare criticize it. This is ironic because
that I will say, Jews are very, very quick to jump on people. And then it does seem that the people that say something about them and they come down hard on, like your Candace Owenses, your David Irvings, your Nick Fuenteses, all these people kind of initially may have said one or two things, but then had such a pushback from things that they all kind of doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on the Jew thing. And I think it does blind them to everything else, that the world isn't as simple as that. But I will say that there is a ridiculous pushback, sometimes way too quick, to call people anti-Semitic. And
the leading anti-Zionists are Jews. Zionism is the greatest enemy of the Jews, since it is more than willing to suffer collateral damage to achieve its objectives.
Did the Israeli army give clearance to kill some of its own soldiers and Israeli civilians on October 7th? An investigation by Israeli newspaper Haaretz says the Israeli army ordered the Hannibal Directive in the hours after the Hamas attack last year. The Hannibal Directive is a highly controversial Israeli military protocol that aims to prevent the capture of a soldier by enemy forces at any cost, even at the expense of their lives. In the case of October 7th, Haaretz says it was used against Israeli civilians too. The Hannibal Directive was first drawn up in 1986 when 3 Israeli soldiers were captured by Lebanese armed group Hezbollah. Members of an Israeli brigade did not fire on the vehicles because the soldiers were inside. The directive was created so that this would never happen again. It stipulates the maximum use of force by the Israeli army in the event of a kidnapping. It allows the opening of indiscriminate fire at abductors and Israeli soldiers being abducted.
But again, I don't know who this woman is, but you can't believe anything that these people say. The BBC's in trouble for platforming some boy who went on there talking about how Israel is being so evil, and now they've been exposed that the boy that they used was a son of Hamas, a Hamas leader. Like, it's like propaganda, and if they can get people back using maximum Israeli force, then why didn't they throughout that war? Like, why, when it says they can shoot indiscriminately, why weren't they? They were dropping leaflets to tell people to leave the area. It's like that people say 70% of the buildings or 80% of the buildings in Gaza have been blown up. So, well, why hasn't 80% of the population gone? Because they tell people, we're going to bomb here. Like, move. It's like, yeah, all of these little things are absolutely paid by Islam.
This investigation into October 7th is based on the testimonies of soldiers and senior army officials. The report mentions that the Hannibal Directive was widespread, but specifically mentions its use inside 3 army bases infiltrated by Hamas. The Israeli army even went as far as dispatching an unmanned assault drone onto one base. But it wasn't just army bases. The Israeli army allegedly issued an order that not a single vehicle can return to Gaza sometime on October 7th, and fired mortars targeting vehicles going towards Gaza. The vehicles would likely have been carrying captive Israeli soldiers and civilians, something which the Israeli army almost certainly knew. The death toll in Israel from the Hamas-led attacks is estimated at 1,139 people, while almost 250 people were taken captive back to Gaza. Haaretz says it doesn't know how many civilians or soldiers were targeted by their own forces, but that the data shows that many civilians were exposed to Israeli gunfire. A case that's received a lot of attention has been that of an Israeli brigadier.
Do you see what I mean? We don't know how many civilians was injured, but we do know that a lot of them was killed. It's just like, it's just so much lying around this war. It's insane. And people like her, it's like...
General, who apparently ordered a tank to fire shells at a house in Kibbutz Be'eri, where he knew captives were being held by Hamas. Of the 14 Israeli captives, 13 were killed.
Yitzhak Grunenbaum, a Polish Zionist during the Nazi era, said that 1 cow in Palestine is worth more than all the Jews in Poland. The most influential Zionist of the 20th century was Rabbi Menachem Schneerson, who created a sect within Hasidic Judaism called Chabad Lubavitch. Benjamin Netanyahu, who is a non-believing Jew, visited Rabbi Schneerson several times because he knows that doing so would increase his political profile.
אבל יש עוד כמה שעות, אבל יש להשתדל גם היום, בבשורות טובות. יש שמחה וטוב לבוא. כדי שחסידים מקפידים שכל ימנו להם את השמחה. בשורות טובות, הצלחה רבה.
It was obvious from their recorded conversations that Rabbi Schneerson was an end-times accelerationist. The rabbi believed that Jews must take actions to hasten the Messiah's return. Netanyahu was only happy to listen as he determined how to use this belief for political gain. Rabbi Schneerson was so satanically self-righteous that if Jesus were alive during Schneerson's time, he would have called Schneerson out just as he did the Pharisees 2,000 years ago. Schneerson taught that Jews as a whole would crown the coming Mashiach or Messiah. Because of this and other things, Schneerson said that Jews as a whole were above God. Schneerson also taught that non-Jews didn't have a soul that existed on the same level as a Jewish soul, that non-Jews were born to serve Jews, and that anyone who worshipped idols like Christians should be killed.
Aber bald der Kola Messias Kula la Mitose wird es durch, was Aid hat zugetan, hat dem Inni von Tamlichunia Aleichem, und durch wird der Rebischte am Melech al Kol Heilam, und durch wird man mit sich Mose nimmt zu Kol Animsoim, und durch verstandig als Adover Hachi Poshut, als jeder da viele Anoshim, viele Tag, wie bald zugetan der Messias, Kol Hanimsoim, ist doch verstandig, als wird Balabos, und jeder von allen Nimsoim, wir sind Chayev HaKoros Teda, was durch Aiden ist zugetan geworden, Kol Hanimsoim, ist doch verstandig, als wird der Remeser Balabos. Rebbe, mir waren Likutetzeri, Valika Bitchibose, ist auf Drul gesagt geworden, Schluche Shalodum Kemese. Bis war nicht, wie die Gemorde sagt, das bepasst, dass nach Hedese gedrückt geworden, die Likutetzeri, aber Ma Kodesh Borcho, was tut damit, Kutshebricho Chayach V'yombar, Natschuni, Bonne Natschuni. Und der Rebischter reingegeben in Niden Makeach, als sollen können erzählen sein, nicht nur der Hanhog Israelon, nur sie können nicht sein, als Zune Bonne.
I could prove every one of these claims with clips, but then this video would be too long. All of this has plenty to do with Trump.
May the Almighty God, who blessed our patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, matriarchs, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless President Donald J. Trump, that he should be safe and successful. May all those who work with him and work to serve this nation be blessed with health, wisdom, courage, and a heart of service. In this moment of prayer, we recognize our shared duty to each other and our country. May we move forward together, seeking to build a future that reflects the will of God and his values based on the 7 Noahide laws that will unite us all together. Amen.
You have 6 billion idol worshippers who makes God angry every second of their life. Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Tibet, Nepal, Thailand, so many. India alone is 500 million. China is 2 billion. So many, 2 billion Christians, which are idol worshippers. Between Chinese, Hindus, Buddhists, and Christian, at least 6.5 billion people are idol worshippers that, according to the Torah, do not have the right to live. Idol worshipper goy, it's death penalty. Not only Jews.
It's not in the Torah. That isn't in the Torah. The Torah is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Which again, even in them books, predicts Jesus. And it's not. I mean, a lot of the strict laws comes from there. Leviticus is where the gay thing comes from, and but yeah, if you carry on, it's like they if you follow the books of the Bible and it leads to Jesus, then you see that what he's saying is wrong. But they don't accept Jesus. I'll give them that. And again, I'm not saying that the Jews are perfect. I don't think they are. I think that Jesus is the Messiah. But I know Jews don't. Like, but also you have to, I mean, again, I suppose this is a bit different because there's only one Jewish thing, really. Well, I suppose there's different sects of Jews too. And some less messianic Jews who believe Jesus is the Messiah. But yeah. If you're going to say the Torah is saying decapitate Christians, it can't possibly, because Christ hasn't been yet. How could you say you're just he's tagging into idol worshippers is yeah, but that hadn't happened yet. So how could they be referring to Christians? But also it is like, say I believe Jesus is the Messiah. This would be like someone saying, well, what about when the Pope said this? It's like, what's that got to do with me? And what's that got to do with I'm not Catholic? And even if I was Catholic, it's like, which, anyway, yeah, that's not in the Torah. I suppose it is, but really the arse kicking comes after the Torah. Actually, they do have books after that goes up to... Oh, where did they go up to? But it's not really till Joshua that, yeah, the Jews start kicking ass and taking names. But Joshua's not part of the Torah, I don't think. I think it is just Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. I could be wrong.
Even a goy who bow down to an idol, who believe in JC, deserve death penalty.
We don't do anything illegal. You cannot take us to jail. If you are not involved, please go. Shalom, my friend. We bless you.
You're in my country.
You come to the United States, you can say whatever you want to say. That is a free world, yes?
You're not in the United States. You're in Israel.
I understand.
You cannot say whatever you want to say here.
Yes, you can. It's legal. It is legal to preach about Yeshua. We preach at Damascus Gate. The police said it's okay. We preach at Jaffa Gate. The police say it's okay. Please stop. I respect you. Respect me.
He doesn't have to respect you.
Huh?
Doesn't have to respect you.
That is the right thing. Are you Jewish? Do you want to honor God? That is the godly thing to do. We respect one another.
The godly thing to do is to kill you.
The godly thing is to kill me.
That's right.
Yes?
That's what the Torah says.
The Torah says to kill us.
The Torah says that people who worship idols such as yourself, when there is a Sanhedrin,
to kill us.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what the Torah says.
So we know how the Jewish people feel about Christians, yes? That you discriminate against Christians.
Christians are idol worshippers.
But
it's not true. It's like it's not in the Torah. And this is the thing. I'm not saying that the Jews don't have some crazy things. And to me, that's why I say the one true religion is Christianity. That is the true religion. Like, not the Jewish faith, but like everything you're saying is tenfold in Islam. Like, for example, I'd like to see that person who's, do you know what I mean? He's in Israel preaching about Jesus. One guy comes up to him giving him shit. It's not like the whole of Israel was against him. And actually the police there was defending him. However, go to the Temple Mount and pray to a Christian God. That's in Islamic territory. Christians, Jews, no one's allowed to pray on there except for Muslims. And if you do, you'll be arrested and probably have your hands cut off and you'll never be able to pray again. Like, yeah, how are you going to put your hands together to pray and you ain't got hands? But yeah, this is what I mean. It's like, it's the same as like you could do that to my country with, I always say my country's not racist. However, you could film someone being racist. However, that's not like and that's what I mean. The Torah doesn't say that. But this is what I mean. Jesus is like, if you're going to say the Torah, there's books in the Torah that predict Jesus. Now you can say, because even Christians think there's idol worship in Catholicism. If you're a Protestant, Christians don't believe you should pray to the saints. You shouldn't have a little statue of Mary. You shouldn't pray to Mary. That these are all idol worship too, because there's only one true God, and that's Jesus. And you see how Protestants and Catholics fight. But yeah, it depends. It's like, again, I'm not saying there's not Jews that have crazy views, but there's Christians that have crazy views. There's Christians that have views where you go, how'd you get that from Jesus? Do you know what I mean? How are you so hateful after reading the Gospels of Jesus? Like that, it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, you get into the old things. But again, it's a complicated thing. But the thing is, as well, is like everything you can say about that you're saying about the Jews, despite the fact that really only one guy had a problem with it, and the police are actually defending them. And he said the police defended me here, they defended me there. They wouldn't do that in Palestine if you went. If you, like I say, no one but Muslims are allowed to pray on the Temple Mount. Otherwise, you'll probably get killed. It's like, and again, I'm not saying Jews are perfect and that there aren't crazy things about them, but I find it so disingenuous that you talk about Jews and not Islam. Now you can say it's just not about Islam. It's like, well, it should be, because this is the debate we're talking about. You're pointing everybody at Jews, who are the fathers of Christianity. That is true. Like they are, that the Jewish religion is the forefather of it. Islam is exactly what Jesus talked about. False prophets, false religions. It come after Jesus. It's like, so as a Christian, you would say that the Jewish is more to be allied with than Muslims, because Jesus is a Jew. His teachings was Jewish. Yeah. I just find it very, suspicious that people are so quick to jump on the Jew. And if you think, oh no, Jews are much worse than Muslims, they're much more dangerous than Muslims. Okay, start a YouTube channel and do a video burning a Torah. Leave it up for a month, see what you get. Then burn a Quran a month later and see what you get. In fact, start a YouTube channel and draw a picture of Muhammad or a picture of Allah. See how far you get. It's like, it's so disingenuous that you point at the Jews and just not at all in any way recognize Islam as a bigger threat. It's like, yeah, it's insane to me. It's insane. And trust me, if there's any country that understands how bad Islam is, it's us. But yeah, that's this part. Sweet.